Welcome back to the news at 10. The federal government may have resuscitated the country's automotive policy as a way of discouraging car importation, but Nigerians believe the implementation should take a gradual process. On our big story tonight, our correspondent, Loretta Chogo, takes a look at the challenges the policy may face.
Instant noodles, tasty nutrition, good for you.
This isn't the first time the automotive policy has been formulated by Nigeria. In fact, the latest effort is more or less a rehash of the same policy formulated by the Ernest Shonekan government in the 90s. But it died gradually. Perhaps the framework to support it was missing. Domestic automobile production began in Nigeria in the 70s through partnerships with foreign companies. This birthed 6 assembly plants, 2 for cars and 4 for trucks, with a total production capacity of 108,000 cars, 56,000 commercial vehicles, and 10,000 tractors annually. Years after, the Jonathan-led administration is thinking in the same direction.
If we have the ability and the resources to do the same, then we should do it. It will provide employment, it will help speed up the industrialization of the country, but we should first of all be very mindful that vehicles are sometimes necessities, but they also have safety concerns. The car has to be economical, it has to be safe, and then it has the other benefits. But we should not just say we should start making cars when the car costs twice as much as an import which has better quality.
I think it's a good way to start. I think it's a good idea that we want to start producing our cars. But my question is, our government, have they made all the things that they need to produce cars? Have they made them available? That's the question.
One thing to be a customer, there's another to be an owner. It's like owning a home. So I think it's a bold and innovative and creative move, and I think that's one that Nigeria is leading the, not only this part of the world, but the entire world in wanting to create our own, and I think this is an excellent idea.
Nigeria's main industrial enemy has been the epileptic power supply. This has resulted in the exodus of some tire manufacturing industries. Dunlop and Michelin are now in neighboring Ghana.
If Nigeria is going to produce the car, do we have all the things available to produce the car? What are the stakes? Do we have, of course, you know the system in Nigeria, things are not working right now. And so when you now talk of producing a car, I mean, what assures me that nothing's going to go wrong with the car? That's the question. And so because of that, I might not be able to get the car because I'm not assured that that car is not going to go wrong somehow, someday. Give me what you have done, and then I can trust you. Before I can get something, before I can buy something, there should be trust. I need to trust what I want to use. I'm the one that is going to use it. So how much trust do I have for a Nigerian-made car?
Because you're making a car doesn't mean you should now stop the importation of cars from other countries. If we look at the Japanese example, for a long time when they were making toys, the first cars that they produced, people laughed initially. But right now, if you're talking about Toyota, you're talking about Honda, you're talking about Nissan, there are cars that are acceptable all over the world. If you look at South Korea, they had Kia, Hyundai and all that. Initially, they were not acceptable. Now they're acceptable. But they started small, they built on what they had, and now their cars are first rate. So Nigeria has to go through the same process. Start small, let the cars face equal competition, and then you'll find out that maybe within Africa, we can start building the Nigerian car. But first of all, we have to start maybe through assembly. After assembling what is available and we learn and we have that knowledge, then we can start from scratch.
Now, what may be pertinent in Nigeria's automotive policy is the fact that once fully implemented, the procurement of all federal government cars is expected to be from the local assembly plants. And since the policy will see to an increased tariff on imported vehicles, The durability and capability of the Nigerian-made cars will have the Nigerian roads to contend with. For the big story, Loretta Chiogo, Channels Television News.
Indomie instant noodles. Tasty nutrition. Good for you.
And the Nigerian Breweries PLC has continued to sustain its role in supporting the country's growth through its corporate social responsibility programs. The company, which has made major developmental impact in areas of education, environment, sports and other sectors, says it's time to join the Lagos State government to light up the metropolis. The company last night lit up the Abebe Village Road in Igomu with the commissioning of a 1.6-kilometer long street light project.
As part of its contribution of infrastructural development in Lagos State, Nigerian Breweries PLC has successfully installed 48 poles of street light on the Abebe Village Road in Igomu.
Your Excellency, we can present you another project that has been finalized, and that is why we are all here. And that is the Abebe Village Road Streetlight Project. It contains 48 light poles, starting at the Costain roundabout, all the way to the Eric Moore Junction.
The street lights are commissioned by the State Commissioner for Energy, Taufik Tijani, and they are independently powered by Nigerian breweries.
I believe this is something that other companies should emulate, in the sense that if we partner with government and we support them in areas of corporate social responsibility, such as installing street lights, it will help us reduce crime, it will boost the commerce, and of course we all be happy for it. It'll be a win-win thing.
This area, the Igomu, Costain area, and the Abebe Village Road is something where every day so many people commute, work, live, and we said, okay, let's improve quality of life and security by establishing street lights from the Costain area up to Eric Moore area.
On the maintenance, the state government says it's working in synergy with the company to ensure that the lights remain functional.
In terms of maintenance, Lagos State government through Lagos State Electricity Board will continue to do maintenance and make sure the street light works all the time.
We keep up the maintenance of the sidewalks. We have installed the traffic lights at the Eric Moore junction. So I think that is all in place, and we keep the maintenance of it.
Nigerian Breweries has in recent times lent support to the state government in various sectors. According to the management of the brewery, the next project in line is the establishment of a recreational park at the Costain roundabout.
First Bank, truly the first.
Loretta Chogo joins me now with business news.
Thank you, Marachi. We start off with this report that the International Monetary Fund, IMF, has presented its regional economic outlook on sub-Saharan Africa. Speaking on the report in Lagos, the African Department Director for the IMF, Antoinette Saye, said the downward changes experienced in most African countries can be attributed to the global economic factors, which are characterized by rising financial costs, volatile capital flows, and weak consumer confidence. She added that with the 6% growth projected for the sub-Saharan countries in 2014, attentions given to areas of challenges will help realize the expected economic growth. The African Development Bank plans to issue around $100 million worth of local currency bonds in Nigeria within the next few months. This is aimed at building the domestic capital market as well as improve financial liquidity in the country. The bank says domestic investors will get preference when the debt is issued, even if there is 200% foreign demand. The AFDB and the International Finance Corporation issue bonds regularly in Africa to develop the local markets and improve financial liquidity in some of the world's fastest growing economies. Now, as part of its continued effort towards empowering its host communities in environment protection, improved health and education, Etisalat Nigeria has held the 9th in the series of its career counseling program. Working with its Adopt a School partners, the Lagos Empowerment and Resource Network Learn, telecoms giant Etisalat hosted secondary school pupils to an event to improve their orientation about their career paths. Henry Ogunjimi has more.
Going beyond the renovation of schools and educational infrastructure, through its Adopt a School initiative, Etisalat Nigeria brought together secondary school pupils with the purpose of sharpening their minds, just as it has beautified their learning environments.
Is your school ready?
Etisalat's Director of Legal Services, Mrs. Adjolu Idowu, who represented our Chief Executive Officer, insists that the idea goes beyond just being socially responsible.
We believe that students need appropriate direction towards making compatible and very fulfilling career choices, because a wrong career choice could potentially have a long-term negative effect. Our employees are encouraged and enabled to fulfill their desire to give back to society by volunteering their time and employing their skills to provide career counseling and mentorship to those who are in the most critical need of such guidance.
I think the judge deserves a round of applause.
There were debates, spelling bee competitions, and career talks in the fields of engineering, customer care, and sales and marketing, taken by employees of Etisalat. At the end, the students obviously picked up life-changing and decision-making tips, much to the admiration of their teachers.
Then I had this in mind of becoming a computer engineer, but because the way my colleagues are always saying mathematics is too hard, so I said probably I would go for arts and study mass communication.
Those of us that are of my age, we didn't have the opportunity in our own time, but now Etisalat is exposing the children to a world of opportunities that were hitherto not available in our schools, and I think the children made the very best use of it. I think it's a very good thing.
We also have a merit award scheme where we grant scholarships to high achieving students in universities. So for the children here today, for instance, one of the things they know is that whatever career they select and whatever course they elect to study in university, if they do very well and achieve very good scores, they have the opportunity to gain a scholarship in Etisalat, Nigeria.
In the meantime, other organizations have been advised to emulate this initiative to better the lot of the Nigerian child. Henry Ogunjimi, reporting for Channels Television News.
Well, over 300 million units of shares were today exchanged by investors for 4.01 billion naira. Harriet Agbeyi gives an outlook of trading at the Nigerian Stock Exchange today.
Hello and welcome to the Stock Market Report. The Nigerian equities market resumes uptrend as the all-share index recouped the loss recorded on Wednesday to finish 0.67% in North Territory. The market capitalization of equities listed on the main board also ended the session higher at 12.02 trillion naira. Nestle Nigeria was the biggest gainer after its share price rose by 49 naira to 1,100 naira and is trailed by Guinness Nigeria and Unilever PLC. The top three laggards, Total Nigeria, Corn Oil and MRS, shared 6 naira 89 kobo, 2 naira 45 kobo and 1 naira 99 kobo each. 380.81 million units were exchanged in 4,554 deals for 4.01 billion naira. Owapik Insurance, Zenith Bank and Equity Assurance boosted market total volume. Those are the day's trading figures. I'm Harriet Agbeyi.
And that's it on Business News. News at 10 returns shortly with Amarachi.
truly the first.
Still ahead on the news at 10, that Nigeria Football Federation rejects the solution of league management's company by Nigeria Football Club owners. That will be in sports news. Please stay with us.
What's